Hey everyone, this is Tracy with Color Me This. We are currently on episode 275. We are going to spend a little time on the pots today. I have spent some time on this first one. I even have a little flaw there that I want to work on melting it away. I thought it would be good to go ahead and do some pot coloring with you guys to finish it off. I have made a plan for the Rainboots, the hat, the little piece of wood, and then this basket up here I've also got a plan for. There's also these two, well, there's this set of boxes that I'm not really sure what I want to do with. I'm tempted to make them also terracotta pots with gold trim. Maybe longer plant pots, and then there's the seeds box and the seeds themselves. Not sure we will get all the way up the page because I do want to play with the pots with you guys. I have my pencils already sitting out. You might hear some sound. I'm actually down in my craft room. Hub is putting back up our bird feeder. He actually put the bird feeder up a couple hours ago, and I noticed I was coming down here to color, and I noticed a little squirrel was hanging around the feeder, and I then discovered he never put the protective wide slippery tube up. It's aluminum, and they can't get up it, and I had to tell Hub, I know you just laid down, but you do realize that you didn't put the tube, and the food's up there, and it doesn't even have the top on it because he just painted it, and it's so it's wide open to the world, and squirrels will make quick work of all of that seed. So he had to get up. He's like, dang it. I knew that was way too easy. So we have, the variety of pots. I want them all to be terracotta colored. This one has a little bit of a flaw because I got carried away. It's quite dark. And I think I'm going to try to do some variations. The one next to it here has some ovals I see it's a different texture than the one next to it. So maybe we will play with trying to have them all look a little bit different. I might take like this tall one. I might do some vertical lines. Just to see if it makes them look somewhat different. They don't have to be all identical. So I have my 3 browns, which were the original browns, used to color these. They will be up on the description. So they are, 25, 21, and 24 are the 3 colors that I will be playing with today. This tooth of this paper is fairly smooth, but it leaves its own little stamp. I even see some little patterns, some what I call embossing, from me being on the page and indenting the paper a little bit. And those I can even emphasize a little bit and have there be some flaws to make. So I'm actually drawing lines that I know this is the darker color, so that should emphasize that flaw there. It's kind of fun. I'm getting a little bit of resist on the Small Victories. Certain pencils, the darker pencils, will not fill in the tooth right next to the grain of the whatever the ink is, and so I saw that happening right here. So I have filled it in. So we don't want these to all be absolutely perfect. I have decided that it is too difficult to film in the screen room with Bubba. It's just too hard. Today I got to watch him without filming, and it was just way easier. So no more dog. Too hard. If I film here by myself, I don't have to be splicing out dog sounds. And what makes this really work for me is to be able to film every day and not do a whole bunch of editing. You just get to see it roll, and what happens, happens. It is natural. I don't really cut anything out, except when people come in. Then when Hub comes in, I usually stop it, figure out what he needs, what he's up to. I could be 5 minutes, and it could be that he needs a couple hours to do whatever, and then I can finish my coloring later. All right, so I've got some interesting things going on this pot that are just subtle, and hopefully you can see all that. I am now going to, I'm looking at his camera. This is my husband's camera. I liked what it did yesterday. It actually looks, when I'm looking at this, pretty light colored, like exposed. I'm not using any special settings. My camera settings for filming are very specific. So I'll have to see what my editing options are. But so far I'm liking it. I thought it did a really good job with the boats. It was very clear and easy to see. So I am just playing around with these colors. When I do animal portraits, I actually will look for natural areas of, like if I'm doing fur, I do not look at a photograph and try to replicate the exact identical. I'll do markings and that kind of thing, but I try to look for these types of, this little S-shaped flaw here would become part of the fur of an animal, if it made sense. Okay, I'm gonna now start, so far all of that was done with light pressure. So now this pot over here, toward the end I did heavy pressure, and I still need to erase that little line. I got a little carried away. So this one's fully darkened, and now I want to come in. This is the lightest color, and it's also the reddest color. So I am going to, this is heavy pressure, but it's not, I'm kind of adding a little at a time because I do want it to not be super smooth. I'm okay with it being kind of chunky. I am not sure, by the way, how well any of these techniques that I would have used on an animal or a nature portrait will work on this specific type of coloring paper. But I figure I should get a somewhat of a result, even if it's not exactly the same. Alright, so we're trying to get this, and I'm purposefully, like, this one hasn't been touched, and I've only done a little bit with the one on the right, so that we can see the difference in a, like a completed pot that I have done everything I can do with. Now I've got the darker brown. Going down, heavy pressure, medium heavy, not quite heavy. These are in front of the pot, so we've got shadowing. This is the middle color. really like this sweet little simple flower. All right, now let's see if we can go in. This is the darkest, 24. I do have 114, which is also like a sepia color. That is what I used to draw the bricks. Okay. I'm going to leave this one as, well, I could do a little bit more down here, I suppose. This is the part of drawing that I can spend hours and hours. Make every single page a little masterpiece and add all of the little details. So that is one level of done that I would say is a nice rough. It's a nice draft. It's a nice start. And I would say to my husband, what do you think of this? And he would say, go more, put more. I would say that then these two pots have a little bit more. But what they lack in my eye, that I hope you can see, is a depth of color. I think that this pot has a lot more richness and depth to it. It is done in a much more smooth finish, except for this one mistake that I still need to play with. And then the pot that I just did, I purposefully added a lot more little textury bits to it. And like I said, I could keep going and going and going. And that is my goal, is to make each of these pots have a little bit of their own character to them. Somewhat like that finished pot and that finished pot. So I'm going to stop with the pots. Before I stop with the pots, I want to do this tiny cleanup on my mistake. And that's when I thought I should be filming this, because there's lots of good nuggets in here that I could share. So I'm just touched it away, so now you can't see that line anymore. These pencils, the Brutfuners, are really easy to fix mistakes like that. Some pencils, not so much. I have picked up the lightest color. It's the orangest. Narrowing. When I do my highlights, I will keep them fairly light as I am doing my initial lay down, and then I will slowly fill them in little bit by little bit. So that's what I'm doing here on this one, is adding, and see, I'm doing it rough. Hopefully, when I look at how the phone is depicting the image, this is again that brighter orange color. All right, so those two pots. Now the nice thing is, let's say I don't get back in and I don't do anything with this pot, which is the lightest of the bunch. What I like now is, to my eye in real life, these pots all look a little bit different. That is very vivid and rich. That one is somewhere in between, and I see some texture and I see some different layers and different coloring going on. And then these two front ones are not as light as this one, but they're pretty simple. They don't have a lot of like the texture to them that this one has. So as a group, they look like a more natural group of pots because I purposefully did them each. Sorry for the noise. I did them each a little bit different. All right, I had to pause a moment there while Hub was getting the bird feeder finalized. Just playing a little bit more with the 3 pots that I have darkened up. Like I said, I don't mind having a few of the pots be darker, a few of them be lighter, and the texture be a little different. All right, let's move on. I fixed the pot. That was super easy to do, as I knew it would be. These are very forgiving pencils. So easy. Okay, I'm going to move over now because I have a piece of wood to fix. And then I have a hat. So this is the piece of wood I did not see. It's so funny when, you know, you have the pictures that have something hidden, and then once you see it, you can't unsee it. I cannot believe I did not notice that. That's crazy. So I have to say, fall is coming. It is 73 or 4 degrees out there. And I'm sitting here, I have a fan on me, and I'm like, I am cold. Can't believe I am cold. Let's get a little bit of the wood grain on that to match. The way this book is, I'm back on the left side of the recliner. It's the, which side do I like? I think I like having my left arm be up on the armrest, my right arm hanging and holding everything in place. I had to pause there and see how the squirrel proofing went. All right, yeah, there we have a complete chair. What a difference a little tiny piece of wood makes. All right, so now we're going to work on the straw hat, and it is going to be a base of this cream color. It has a little whoop-de-doo, so we will see what we do with that as far as shadows go. There is a basket that kind of is going to match it, but be a little bit darker, but that's off the screen now. So we're going to work on the hat and the galoshes. Hub wants the galoshes to be bright yellow, but I am not going to do that because today you can buy galoshes in any color you want. So these galoshes are a custom order galoshes or rain boot to match the blue band and the blue shawl. They're going to be light blue. with gray and a dark gray or black sole. Grabbing the 20 is the color one darker we bought. 69 is the cream. 20 is our next darkest, and I am going to just block in some shadows. We have these lines implying that it's got some weaving. Go one darker to 117. These are the same colors used on the chair. We're just going to keep the hat way lighter. Trying to do a little emphasis on these weaving lines. I think that's going to be good. I've slid a little bit. Okay, next we are going to go ahead and slide over. I think I had it in the middle before I paused when I came back in. Let's work on our Rainboots. I'm starting with, I have two blues, the same two blues used on the shawl. 38 is the lighter. .37 is the darker. Here is about what the barrels look like so. Starting with the lighter color. Again, loving that these are square because I have them right here at the edge of my table, and I can't tell you how many pencils have rolled off when I set them down, not up vertical. I like to set down what I'm working on, and then I pull from the Lazy Susan. When I put them back in, you guys can hear them go plop, 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 and I think it's annoying. So I tend to leave them on the table. This is a very, very light blue on this paper. These are going to be grays, the clasps. Okay, first layer done. Grabbing the darker blue. I even have a little mistake to fix. These feel so smooth. It's just so interesting using all of the different sets that I have and how they make me feel and how they feel when I use them. These pencils make my heart happy. So I did a thing. I don't know that in the world of colored pencils, I have not seen a lot of neon type coloring. I've seen very vibrant fantasy color schemes. The most common I see is Prismacolor, because they have a very bright, vibrant palette. But I have a vision of a type of coloring that I would like to explore now that I've actually used neon colored pencils for the first time ever. So I did a thing. I went to Temu and found the Brutfuner 50 for $8.35. Then I thought, all right, so that's a really good deal. That's for 50. And then so I love the vibrancy of the neons, and I love the feel of metallics. But I wish that I had access to more colors in the metallics. So I did a second thing. I paid $12, which was by far the cheapest price, for 72 Brutfuner metallics. And I cannot wait till they come. I definitely feel for the normal color palette, I own enough pencils to last me a lifetime. However, like the Harmonious, Harmonious is a whole new color palette. So it's something new and fun, just like the metallics being something new and fun. So that is what I did. And I even bought these 72 and 50 size cases you can get for under $6. So they each have their own cases coming. And I don't own any blue cases. I own black, purple, hot pink, and light pink. So I bought 2 blue cases so that when I look here and I stare at my stand that holds my pencil cases. The bright blue ones I will know will be my neons and metallics. All right, there's the blue galoshes. I could pull, I don't have it pulled out right now, I could go ahead and do a little bit darker blue along the very edge for more shadowing. I'm not going to worry about it right now. I am okay with a couple of little crinkle lines. There's a crinkle there and a crinkle there. I have spent most of my life wearing muck boots, rubber boots, and then neoprene. As I got older, I got fancier, and they do get full little folds in them. I'm not sure if you can see it, but I am using the light to kind of block in some folds. Again, being super nitpicky, doesn't really need that level of detail, but if anybody notices it, it just shows that I spent a little extra time to get those details worked in. This front is way bigger than the left is bigger than the right. All right, I am happy with those. I'm now going to do the soles. So I have, and I did not mock this up, so I'm going to try 27, which is a dark gray. And these little things used to be that these were just rubber straps and there was a button and you would just strap it around the button and that would close the side. So I could do it that style. Let's try that. That would mean that that strap is hollow and then there's blue, kind of like this. Which means all I need to do is color that button. And that button could be the same color as the sole I'm making. I do have black handy and a sepia, the 114. This right here is why I wish I had pulled a darker blue. But I can do that on my own. There you go, very simple. And then the gray button, this will be the shadow, and that button's way smaller than the other button, that's okay. I have a medium. This one is 26. All right, we have some cute galoshes. I am adding a little bit of this medium gray. I don't know if it's a strong enough gray. I like it. I have a basket to do. So let's see. Oh, look, you can see that basket. The basket is going to be the same as the hat. It might even end up being the same color as the hat. I can go ahead and base it, put the cream on. Cream being 69. So yesterday's boats, I had accidentally hit a wrong button on my own phone, and then did not keep track of time at all. I knew that I wanted to finish the 2 boats in the Erogeton, and that I wasn't going to be overly worried about going over time. I had been really good for quite a while at not going over time. So if this needed to go long, it was okay. And it was over an hour. It's been a long time. Actually, I've been really good at conserving My mom is out walking the dog. She's checking out the bird feeder. So these tops are gold. The basket is going to be somewhat tan. I am very quiet today. I do love not having to yell over 2 air conditioning units. That's the other thing with the screen room. And I could probably film out there this winter if my parents aren't in the 5th wheel so the AC can be off. And then I'm just competing against my AC unit. But boy, trying to talk over both of them is something else. Okay, I have one darker. I want the one darker. Not that one. 117. So this is 117. And it is just going to I want the handle and the top edge to look rounded. So that's why I'm leaving some white of the paper. Just want a little texture. I don't want that white, I think I want it cream. Because it's not shiny. There we go. Now, what are we doing for time? We're at 39 minutes, so I might just halt it here. Because I have these 2 elements left. I spent some extra time doing the pot colors. Love the colors of the pots so much better with the variation. Even on my own, I have done. I'm slowly working on the leaves up here. I will be working on the leaves and the shadowing in between the leaves. We will do that together, at least one portion. I will be doing the shadow of the behind the pots with a little bit of the grass in front, so this whole area will work together. And then when I work on these two elements, the seeds and whatever this is going to be, I will work on the shadowing and the bricks all around here. So that's 3 more days left. 1, 2, 3. Yep. And that is what I have finished today. I hope you like it. And I hope if you want to use your own color schemes that you are still just learning how to get your gradient, your shadows in. You could use whatever color of pots you want. You could make them all different colors. The sash, hat band, and the rain boots, it just made sense to me to make them the same color. You can do whatever you want. Tomorrow I'm going to do another section of this. I haven't decided where I want to move to next. And so we'll do another daily color big. I was either thinking of trying to get it all done this week or just let it be 2 episodes this week, 2 episodes next week, which is like the natural progression. So that's probably what I'm going to do. So do all of the YouTube things, like, share, comment. Okay, so that was me hitting a button on the phone that does something different on my phone, and it didn't work. So I was in the middle of concluding, so I'm going to start it all over again. Do all of the YouTube things, like, share, comment, and consider subscribing. This time I won't turn it off. And I hope to see you all tomorrow. Have a great day.